Welcome to Room for All, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of inclusive employment and explore the power of creating opportunities for people with disabilities. I'm Andrea Comastri, CEO and co-founder of Hotel Etico, Australia's first not-for-profit social enterprise hotel.
And I am Sarah O'Connell, COO of Hotel Etico. Together, we'll be your hosts as we talk about the importance of breaking down barriers in the workplace. We will have a particular focus on hospitality and other customer-facing roles, and how businesses can lead the charge toward inclusion.
At Hotel Etico, we believe that everyone deserves the fair chance to succeed. And we've made it our mission to not only provide jobs, but to build meaningful careers for people with disabilities. On this podcast, we will be sharing success stories, best practice, and inspiring conversations with industry leaders from the hospitality sector, the disability sector, other social enterprises, philanthropy, and of course, our own trainees, graduates, and staff.
Whether you're a business owner, an advocate for inclusion, or someone curious about the future of work, this podcast is for you.
So come and join us at Hotel Etico, or as we call it, the Hotel California for the heart. A place where once you have checked in, your heart will never leave.
So let's get started and make room for all. The only job he gives me. Press the button that lights up.
You did it.
Buttons.
Yeah.
Very effective.
What a compliment. I push buttons. There we go.
Has it been a long day?
This is just
It's
normal.
always a long day. It's all right.
Do you need a bite to eat?
Yeah, I've got some over there.
We love working together. Dr. Cale Bain,
That's it.
learning designer and facilitator at UTS Centre for Social Justice and Inclusion. Tell
That's
us
me.
a little bit more of what that
Well,
long
first,
title
welcome
means
to
and
the
what
man.
you do.
It means a whole bunch of things. I work with two different programs at UTS in the Center for Social Justice and Inclusion. I work with Shopfront and Soul, and they're both student-driven social impact programs. Shopfront specifically works in curriculum and connects student organizations, community organizations, not-for-profits, social enterprises with curriculum, with subjects, and has students use their experience and gain service level experience with these community organizations. Soul offers this outside of curriculum, so the students would do volunteer action, and we recognize that volunteer action, reward them for volunteer action. And what I do as the learning facilitator, learning designer, is I'll train modules to help students figure out best practice in how to interact with community organizations, different types of stakeholders, people from marginalized communities, and I get to work with students in that way. That's where
So
I
you-
come.
That sounds like a great job.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty
Yeah.
fun because the students that I get to work with. I mean, I'm also in faculty, and I teach. I
you're a
love
teacher.
teaching in faculty, the students that I'm with in faculty, some of the subjects that they have to take, they're taking begrudgingly because they have to take them in faculty. But the students who are part of these programs are
enjoy it.
keen and they want to be part of it. So, as a learning designer and a learning facilitator within those, it makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah, right. What's the age of the students? Is it undergraduates?
These are actually, there are quite a few postgraduate students, particularly in Seoul, in the volunteer opportunity, because they see it not just as an opportunity to provide social impact, but they also see it as an opportunity to show experience and learn leadership skills and have some industry and social community experience.
Yeah,
as well.
okay.
Yeah.
And what's your field, your own personal field of studies? Like, what's the PhD?
My
or
field is
what-
my
yeah.
PhD. What made me a doctor? I was a journalist for many years, and I also run with a bunch of friends of ours. I run an improv theater company that Shaheen was a participant
Right,
in
okay,
as
that's
well.
how you know
That's
Shaheen.
how we
Okay.
know one another. And we, so my PhD was on the kind of marriage between comedy and news.
So you're funny.
No. No, end of conversation. Yes. I mean, yes, maybe. Academically, I'm funny. I know how to study funny and teach it.
That's funny. That is funny. And why are you doing what you're doing?
A couple of reasons. One, it's very easy to see the impact of a program like, both these programs, Shopfront and Soul. It's very easy to see the impact in community, to see the kind of outcomes and outputs that students offer. It's very easy to see the impact that organizations get and have from having students participate, but also to see what the students get out of it. The students get a lot out of it. They get real world experience. They get an understanding of it. So we do research with the students where we'll interview them and do evaluations, and they understand, oh, I can do social impact as part of my work, as part of my lifestyle. And they would not have considered that before engaging with a program like that. So it's easy to want to be part of that kind of upswell of enthusiasm.
And UTS is so involved in this space. So a big shout out to the place where we're at. I mean, this building is unbelievably
It's nice.
It is
nice.
I get lost every time.
It's so
I know where the
beautiful.
vending machine is. Level 5.
So innovative, so beautiful. And it's not the only UTS building that is beautiful. Like there's really, UTS has done amazing over the last few years in
I've
terms
been
of
here
transforming this
for
area.
17 years, and the campus is
Transformed.
very different.
Yeah,
very
I can
It only
imagine.
used to be the old tower,
The tower,
right?
the big brutalist
And
tower.
now it's unbelievable. Like all the different building 10, this building.
Yeah.
Oh, but the other one
So
on
we-
the
we're
street.
in
building,
The cheese
building
grater?
11, the cheese
11?
grater, yeah.
Cheese
What's,
grater.
oh, sorry.
It looks like a cheese grater
Looks
from
like
the
a big old
outside.
cheese
It's
grater.
beautiful. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Have you been to that?
Fun fact about the I mean, like I'm pro UTS mostly, because I've worked here for so long. But the brutalist tower,
Yeah.
like the big tower that's
Yeah.
in the middle of campus, the way the tower is positioned so there's very little public space outside of the tower. Like there's a little bit of a green
Yeah.
behind the tower, and there's a little bit of a foot space in front of it. I've heard some design people tell me that was purposeful in order to not be able to have protests around campus.
Oh.
Whereas, like
Interesting.
you look at Sydney Uni,
There's plenty of space for protest.
plenty of space for
Yes.
protests.
Interesting.
But when there's protests at UTS, it's often contained.
It's inside.
It's contained within a green area that's like you can't really go
Interesting.
anywhere. And
Very interesting.
There you go.
a little,
Interesting.
A little fun fact for those wanting to protest on campus. Got to be creative. with it.
Squeeze.
And but it's
Yeah.
it's great that
Use
UTS
deodorant if
gets
you
so
wanna
much
protest.
behind social enterprise. It's really
UTS does
yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
So UTS says one of our fundamental pillars at UTS is to have social impact, have
Yeah.
global social partners
Yeah.
with things. So yeah,
The work that I've worked with Bronwyn, Dalton.
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually was. I think that the time has sort of run out now, but a industry fellow, honorary fellow for a number of years. I came
right.
to sort of do little presentations
run
with
out?
Bronwyn. It probably does. Well, at least they haven't called me back. Maybe
So he
they
wasn't
don't know.
very good.
I think it expires. But yeah, no, I've done a lot of work with Bronwyn on a number of things, and so the work that, in fact, she was meant to be a guest, and I think she put her name down too late, and we were full. But then,
Sorry.
which is very
Snooze, you
Bronwyn.
lose.
Sorry,
Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
Too
Snooze, you
busy.
lose, yeah.
Too busy doing other impactful work.
Yeah, that's right. So, but why do you think that UTS gets so involved in the social enterprise space?
I think so. It started. Oh, I'm trying to remember the person's name. I don't remember the person's name. But UTS. So specifically in the field that I'm in, well, I'll come back a couple of things. So one, university spaces are constantly critiquing power and trying to understand how power exists and where we can kind of reframe power in a more equitable way. So hopefully that's universities across the board, specifically within faculty, not always within UTS or university leaderships across the world, but faculty are always trying to interrogate power in that way. So that's one place where it starts from, but UTS specifically had some people who started some social impact programs. So Shopfront itself is 30 years old, and we've been doing this kind of community engaged learning for 30 years. And so I think the fact that it's been embedded in UTS, it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation where the university has this program that's very successful, that does very good work with community, that community organizations get a lot out of, that students get a lot out of, that faculty get a lot out of. And so, of course, the university is going to want to help champion this. And because it's an impactful, positive program that highlights good student work and it gets good outcomes for
I think the
organization.
skills that you can learn as a student, like in the social enterprise
because
space
it's very
is huge.
applied,
Yeah,
very
it's very
practical.
applied
Also,
learning.
there's probably an idealism of a younger person that it's
They wanna do good.
They wanna
do good.
doing good,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah.
There's also like when you're looking at the kind of job skills that you need now, they don't, employers don't look at your grades. They look at your communication skills.
Yeah.
They look at your problem solving skills. They look at your understanding of global issues, right? When you do social impact work, when you engage with community organizations, with social impact organizations, you are learning those things.
And don't we know that being a social entrepreneur, you need to be an all-rounder.
Oh my God, everything. You need to know everything about everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, you learn quick, smart.
Well, being able
Yeah.
to learn in and of itself is that kind of skill. So those who thrive in chaos, but also in like the uncertainty that the third sector faces, they have a real advantage in certain types of employment because they can,
Andrea's favorite line is, "You have to be comfortable in the discomfort."
Yeah, one of the favorite lines.
I teach this.
Yeah.
I teach this. This is exactly what I teach. So I teach this along the lines of cultural and social humility, understanding that because we're, from this place, because students are coming from an ivory tower, they're coming from an institution of power, whether they recognize it or not. Students will often not see themselves as powerful, but they're coming from this hallowed place that creates knowledge. So they have a proximity to power. They have to realize, actually, you have significant privilege in this. Even if you have disadvantage in other parts, it's, it's important to recognize where you have privilege and recognize that not everybody has that privilege. And it's your job to start to work towards a more equitable space where we can work more realistically, where we balance out that privilege.
Yes, absolutely. Where are you from, Cale?
I'm from. I like this game. What do you would? Do you want to do?
I wouldn't ask me. I'm useless at this game.
I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
You know what? I actually would have said that. I would have won.
But she didn't.
No, I
wanna
just wanted to
commit.
go. I wanted to see whether I could go down the path of asking what's happening in the universities and
In
in the
America.
US at the moment, but you're on the other side of the
I'm
border,
in
so I
Canada,
won't ask you.
so
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
you're
can't.
fine.
Canada is having its own similar challenges to here in Australia in terms of like post-COVID, having to deal with
Students.
budgets and international students. and- But not quite the US.
Yeah.
Not quite there.
Well,
colder?
it might be the
Bit colder.
51st state, right, or whatever it's from 52nd, whatever it's called.
Depends who you ask. But yeah.
So, I mean, this is relevant for the social enterprise that have been here, but I'll ask you as well, like, what's happening in the future of UTS and the programs that you're involved in over the next few years? Where is it going?
UTS is undergoing a bit of restructuring right now. We're in the news right now with some courses either continuing or not continuing. So so in terms of what we get to do with Shopfront, we're still figuring out where we sit in and amongst those subjects because.
What courses are they? Which ones?
There's like 146
okay. All right.
courses.
Could you name them all off the
yeah.
top of your head?
We don't have time.
I don't have time for
Yeah,
them.
right. Okay.
So there's a lot of courses that are being considered.
Yeah, okay.
So there's a lot of questions around that. So I would also like to know the answer to that question, Andrea.
Okay.
But I can tell you that next year is Shopfront's 30th anniversary. So we get to celebrate that. And we're going to bring in a bunch of old community partners. We're going to bring in a whole bunch of old mentors that we have worked with, and bring in some student projects that have kind of shown over the years, and get to relive those really valuable, really positive experiences.
That's cool. Where are they now?
Cool.
Yeah. I know there's one. I'll just highlight one that happened either last year or the year before. There's an Indigenous advocate who works with community, and he works through a trauma-informed process where he talks about his own experience. And of course, if you're doing that all the time, that's going to take a huge emotional load on anybody, right? Where you're talking about lived experience. And so one of the Shopfront organizers, one of the Shopfront projects, created a little video of him narrating his story, but now you can just watch it as an animation. So he doesn't have to relive that experience every time he's sharing his experience.
Yeah, okay.
He doesn't have to dig into that emotional load all the time. And his story can be shared more widely and more easily. And that's this organization that we worked with still uses this, and they've come back to us and said, this is still an impactful thing. So things like that
cool.
where it's actually making a difference and helping people do positive work. That's a really impactful, positive thing.
We need to, unfortunately, wrap up, but I want to ask you two questions. One is one that we've asked everyone. It would be interesting to see what comes out of this one. But anyway, because you're such a large organization,
Well, I guess UTS.
if your organization was a dish on a menu, what would it be?
If it was a dish on a menu, holy
We've had some
moly.
killer answers
What would it be?
too.
Just what comes to mind?
If UTS was a dish on a menu, it would be like a goulash, like a mix, all these different
Just chuck
things.
everything in?
Yeah, whatever's left
big
over,
stew.
whatever's fresh, whatever's old, whatever's new, whatever's cold, whatever's blue, will go in to
Fruit salad.
Fruits, but it would need
It's
to
not
be
even
cooked
fruit, it's
because
gotta
some
be
of it
cooked.
is off. Some of it needs.
This has become best.
Some of it needs.
Okay, yeah. I guess it's harder to give an answer for this
So
for UTS, but that was interesting.
I'm going to say
That was very good.
stew. That's the
Stew.
stew,
Stew
right?
with
Like a
lots of
stew.
stuff, the stuff that
But
you
I
want.
want to say,
If you want to
it's
fancy
like
it up, it could be like paella.
yeah, you could.
You can't hijack the
I could
answer.
do whatever I want.
What's one thing that you really would like to say that we haven't asked you that you want to communicate, if there's anything?
I mean, now this is the one question.
Is there
I'm
anything
stumped
that you
on.
really wanted to communicate when you put your hand up to be in the podcast?
I guess the work that we do in subject, and not just me, but other people in this center as well, in trying to find equity in student voice.
Okay.
And part of that is working with community, so community understands how to. So that students understand how to best engage with community, which I guess we have spoken about. I've spoken about that a little bit,
Yeah.
but you've stumped me.
Well, maybe we've
what's
covered
something
everything.
that I
We've been
missed?
so
Yeah.
good with the question and
Maybe,
the answers, and
yeah.
we've covered everything.
I think the goulash talk just made me
Trumps
hungry,
everything.
and then
true.
then
Have
as
you
soon as my
eaten?
brain went to my belly, I haven't eaten yet because
We
I
haven't
was
either.
Me
at
neither.
the
Yes,
stall,
us either, yeah.
Yeah,
and
same.
now
I've
all
got
the-
some
We've been
Chinese
here
up
since
there
8
if
o'clock
you want
this morning.
some.
Oh my god!
Some fried rice.
It's yours,
Unfortunately,
it's
we're
yours.
running behind with time, and so
Wait, I have
I'm
5
really
more
sorry.
questions that I need to.
We're going to be told off by the other guests. Thank you for your patience. It's really nice to have you on the show.
Thank you
Yes, we-
so much.
After
Yes.
lunch, I've had some technical difficulties.
Yeah,
so
well,
we're getting there now.
we'll make it work.
You're making it seem very
Thank you.
simple.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
Thank you very much.